Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. For today, I would like to present a part of my dissertation area. The title is Exploring EFL Students Reading Comprehension Through Task-Based Flipped Classroom. And my partners are my promoter and my co-promoters, Prof. Ilza Mayuni, Dr. Nuruddin, and also Prof. Ninu Lustianti. My presentation will be divided into four parts. The first one is introduction, the second one methods, then findings and discussions, and the last one is conclusion. Alright, the first part is introduction. The background of this study is the needs of integrating the reading and technology to involve students' interaction during reading class, especially in pandemic COVID-19. So it means we have to change learning model. So that's why I choose flipped classroom. Why flipped classroom? Because flipped classroom has adapted in many aspects in higher education programs. Both students and lecturers face teaching and learning activities through technology. But when we try to implement the flipped classroom, the lecturer should design some activities to build students' background knowledge. It means that lecturers would probably design appropriate class for enhancing students' cognitives before in-class activities. It indicates lecturer should create many tasks into three phases which integrated in each other. Lecturer adopted task-based language teaching strategy to support these needs. Why? Because TBLT is one of English methods which created some tasks as a way to enhance students' communicative as the output. Through some task features in reading, hopefully students can increase their reading skills through their learning experience. Next, reading course design. The others designed integrative reading strategies that developed by activating lower level strategies or automatic linguistic processes and higher level strategies or comprehension processes from readers' ability to make inference, activate background knowledge, and structure knowledge. I adopted the GRIPS model. We start from lower level process. The processes are lexical process, syntactical parsing, semantic proposing formation, and working memory activation. For higher level process, it starts from text model of comprehension, situation of model reader interpretation, and background knowledge use and interfacing executive control process. For flipped classroom, flipped classroom is an innovative way to improve students' positivity, including the perceptions, interaction, and skills developments in teaching learning activities. In practice, students can eliminate their pressures in facing difficulties during learning in face-to-face class because the comprehension phase has passed before the course. For example, grammar exercise, unfamiliar vocabulary, and so on. So therefore, students can briefly review their difficulties or confusion. And the essential element is supporting tools within the flipped classroom model frame to activate students through self-directed learning pace by learning management system. So the phases are pre-class, in-class, and post-class. For task-based language teaching is widely defined as a type of instruction that utilizes tasks as a unit and practice in communicative manners. It implies that the task can boost students' input linguistic knowledge and large amounts of output in productive skills and knowledge. The first phase is free tasks. In free tasks, we introduce new topic. Next, task process. In task process, it talks about how tasks perform communicatively. And the last one, post task, it talks about self-reflection handling the task. For learning management system, because of the needs of integrating of reading and technology to involve students' interaction during reading class, especially in pandemic COVID-19, so students' participation through LMS in all phases, in before, during, and post class. Lecture factors are tied to lectures management in providing general encouragement and support. Moodle was chosen as platform to make linkage between internet and classroom, which provided learners the diverse knowledge and information sources. Moodle was a medium of learning positively to affect students' outcome. The second part is method. The research design is I used a mixed methods quantitative and qualitative research study to improve the contextual problem mentioned earlier and to find out the influence of the students' learning through task-based flipped classroom strategy. The participants and the context. The study took place in English reading course carried out since once at a private English pedagogy program of university in Jakarta, Indonesia. There were 179 participants of sophomore pre-service EFL students whose determined in B2 level in Sever. In design and procedure, in TBFC, task-based flipped classroom groups, the lecturers prepared students the materials by giving some videos and some exercises reflected to the videos given. And the model is chosen as a platform to facilitate students' tasks in pre-class and in-class tasks. Here are the task features designed in Moodle. In pre-class, there will be three features. It starts with page, quiz, and discussion. In class, there are six features: forum discussion, gimmick, page, assignment, quiz, and forum discussion. And the last one is post class. The features, only one is assignment. Design in data collection, the study drew on multiple sources of data such as questionnaires, pre-test, and post-test. observation, and lectures and students interview. There are 35 questions that derive into subcategories, and it is used in questionnaires and also lectures and students interview. For learning materials, the writer adopted TBLT concept for designing detached of technology mediated focused introduction to this reading course. Here are the sample task-based flipped classroom of learning activities throughout the semester. So the materials is previewing. Here are the lessons, and the activities will be divided into two phases according to asynchronous online 75% and also virtual class 25%. The phases are pre-class, in-class, and post-class, and also the assignment. For this assignment, I took from www.freespeedreading.com to test the students. And in virtual class, we discuss in Meet Me feature. The first the first activity is review of learning materials. The second one, doing interactive discussion virtually. And then the last is doing feedback. And the learning materials, the writer adopted TBLT's concept for designing students' reading tasks by detaching the principles of technology mediated tasks as the form-focused introduction to this reading course. Here are the findings. The first one, related to the research question. We want to find the effect of implementation task-based flipped classroom in reading courses. So I took the students' perception through reading courses, and then after that, I conduct to find the effectiveness of TBFC using statistics data, and it indicated that the experimental classes got higher improvement in pre-test and post-test scores of experimental classes than students in control classes. And the second research question, participants' perception of using task-based flipped classroom in reading course. I found that the perception qualitatively from lectures preparation. Here is the lectures display for pre-class and in-class tasks in LMS. So there will be three phases in pre-class, in-class, and also post-class. Post-class only doing assignment. Besides the participation in class interaction, TBFC enhanced students' communicative aspect based on task preparation in LMS, and students were commanded to express their ideas, perception, or opinions throughout the reading course through some task features such as forum discussion, and meet me. And then there will be free access without time limit and space because some participants held positive attitude responses towards Moodle since it gave them time more as they needed for watching, learning, and reviewing video and some materials. It was possible to watch the video repeatedly if they missed the class entirely or partially. Besides, they could set their preferable time to learn independently. Here is the example of forgetting students' opinion related to their individual uh, learning in pre-class. Okay, next in figure 4, on the left side, here is the lecturer's explanation in class task of TBFC. As we've seen on the pattern that the lecturer give explanation directly using Google Meet. So Google Meet is imported into Moodle, and I named it in I named it Meet Me Meet Me features and interviews. The others note some ideas from students who were in TBLC's class. They got positive perspectives and learning impact because they could participate communicatively since pre-class and in-class tasks. They felt challenging to do the task as requirements of doing discussion in class. And so the table of 8 is the summary of student sample in interview of TBLC's implementation and also samples of lecture perception interactive design of task-based flipped classroom. So there are 3 samples of lectures in academic reading. So each of them, I got uh, some ideas or opinions from them. The discussion. The former refers to the limitation of learning hours during virtual class in pandemic era, so that lecturer needs to design tasks more before in class to guide students' perception in comprehending the lecture taught later. Based on the findings, it can be assumed that design of task-based flipped classroom in reading course pushed students' preparation in learning through pre-class activities independently or to comprehend their reading skills such as lower level process and higher level process. And it developed interactive process in pre-class and in-class activities to avoid the heavy cognitive load during reading process that impairs the knowledge construction process and less structure in flipped classroom compared to familiar traditional lecturers. So the conclusions are based on the previous section, designing reading features in learning management system model clearly represents that comprehension process in reading should be developed into many stages using reading processes. By implementing some processes through LMS and virtual interaction through Google Meet feature, students engage reading course including pre-class and in-class activities to obtain the reading skill. And for further research, the flipped classroom task can be improved by adding a a mechanism that allows the content delivery adapted to the student's environment. Besides, the lecturer should be creative to modify the model's features depending on the course needed through various plugins that support it. And the last, since flipped classroom requires face-to-face setting during in classes, the lecturer should add any plugin to support the situation inside the features to deliver virtual face-to-face. And at the same time, the practice of higher professional education, also viewed by education effectiveness in teaching of a foreign language in many conditions, namely creative of two parts, a lecturer and a student. And the lecturer's influence interacts with his students not only during classroom but also before and after classroom interactively becomes intimate with each other. And the last one, the students will be creative and more active during interaction among the class, not or without object or also improving their life skill. Well, I think that's enough for my presentations. Thank you for your appreciation. Good morning.